niner. Making contact at point 003.
Welcome to Live Action Star Wars. I'm Ralph.
I'm James.
And today we're discussing The Acolyte, Episode 7, Choice, which I believe you called?
I called it. I thought it was going to be last week's episode, but I called the episode title. So I'm very pleased about that. We're not doing it alone, though.
We're not doing it alone.
We're not going to do it alone. We invited one guest. They couldn't make it, so it looks like we've got someone joining us. Everybody, for the first time, welcome to the show, Minch.
Ready to talk about Acolyte, I am.
Minch, thank you for joining us. You're in a new studio, it looks like. How's things going over there?
Terrible. Disgusting. Too many Gundams there are. Stinks, it does.
Well, I mean, the Gundams can only mean one thing, and it's not invasion. Jacob is joining us as well. Jacob Fullerton of Astro Goblin. Welcome back to the show, Jacob.
I made it. I have returned at long last to talk about Star Wars. How you fellas doing?
Oh, good.
Doing great.
Man.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Minch is canonically supposed to be dead, so yeah, that was all a farce. No, this is
but
I guess like High Republic times. He's still alive.
Yeah. He would have been.
But you guys have rebooted since the last time we talked to you.
I was going to say, last time we introduced Jacob, there was a little different channel on there that unfortunately no longer is a thing. But we're not going to say goodbye to Jacob just because Warner Brothers did. Jacob, since the last time we had you on, has gone independent, striking out on his own with Patrick and Charlotte as Astro Goblin. How's that?
Astro Goblin. Yeah. I'm a YouTuber now.
It's cool. It's horrible.
Yeah, we all had that revelation together. We're like, oh, are we?
So
YouTubers
that's Stevie.
now?
You met Stevie, my wife. She's a big fan of Astro Goblin.
Hey, Stevie.
Goblin. I try to call it Astro Globin. Okay, could I just say, if any right now, if this for me and my wife, the thing we laugh the most at. If you guys want to go check out Astro Goblin, it's at Astro Goblin Plays on YouTube.
Yes.
Chained Together was the most fucked up game, and we couldn't stop laughing. Like it made our day better. It was so good. That game looks like a nightmare.
It is.
Me and Stevie can't even play like new Super Mario's together because our playing styles are so different. I don't know how you guys. I don't know how you put up with that shit. Like even for like a second. So everyone check out Chained Together. Yeah, it's bad. It's essentially three characters. You, Patrick, Charlotte are literally your characters on the screen are tied together by a chain, and you all have to make it to an endpoint. And it's a platformer in 3D, and it's just fucked up.
Yeah, it's like one of those rage bait games where you can just ruin your run and fall all the way to the bottom. So
ruin friendships, ruin your run,
and friendships.
Yeah. I think Star Wars Explained was in the comments saying lost like 6 friends or something.
Yeah,
playing this. But yeah, we have fun. We are doing our own thing, and I'm gonna slowly try to turn it into a Star Wars channel like I did with Funhouse.
I mean, it worked. Well, I enjoyed it when it went that way. So
yeah, it was a good time. I love doing that.
Yeah,
but yeah. I'm here to talk about Star Wars today. So
yeah. So how have you been feeling about the Acolyte in general?
How have I been feeling about the Acolyte? It's been a little up and down for me. I've been watching every week. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I very much enjoyed the 5th episode. But I have been kind of like waiting to see most of the show because I knew there's going to be some like unreliable narrator stuff. Mm-hmm. Like we're going to talk about that today. Like finally filled some blanks in, but like I've been feeling good about it sometimes. Like some parts I'm like, what's going on there?
What's exciting you the most? Like,
what's exciting me the most is, I mean, I was waiting to see like the unraveling of the mystery that we're talking about today. And what excites me the most is seeing just Lee Jung-jae, whatever he's on screen as Soul. I love him.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now I want to see more Kimir. Because I'm intrigued by that.
I was missing him this week, big time. Like,
yeah, I was missing him too.
As soon as, I mean, you always want more Manny Jacinto, but I feel like as soon as he'd unmasked, it's just like, cool. This is the show. Like, this is where all the attention should be, because he's just
yes. As much as I was like eager to find stuff out about like the Coven and whatnot, I want some more Manny Jacinto. Because he's so good.
I was convinced that he was going to be involved in that in some way, shape, or form, but we haven't seen that yet. If we're going to at all.
Yeah. Episode 8, another flashback, but from his perspective, he was there. That'd be crazy. I hope that doesn't happen, but it'd be funny.
The way this series has been structured, you would think that it would be 9 episodes, because we got 2 episodes before the first flashback, and we're only getting 1 after, which is kind of a bummer. But maybe it's a double episode. Maybe it's a little bit longer. I mean, we got some story stuff to go through.
There's a lot to wrap up with 1 episode to go.
It does concern me.
Yeah, I'm keeping the faith because I've been loving the show so much, but it does feel like there's a lot to do and not a lot of time, because these shows, they historically they don't do double episodes. They've never done like an extended season finale or anything like that. So
yeah.
Was it one of the Mandos long? Wasn't there one where I had to get up like super early in the morning to watch it? Because I heard it was longer.
Like you're right.
I don't know.
Did you hear it was longer and then it ended up being like 37 minutes like the rest of them or something? Like,
yeah, I guess we'll find out next week. But like there's definitely been specific characters I've enjoyed watching on screen. And like even if like whatever's happening, I'm like kind of lukewarm on. Like I said, Lee Jung-jae. He's great.
He is great. He's so. I mean, this episode we get some stuff about him that sort of muddies the water a little bit, I think. But
yeah,
it's up until now I've been saying that he's the nicest, sort of most compassionate Jedi that we've seen in a long time, I think.
A
lot of Qui-Gon energy with that guy, which I enjoy.
Which was set up with Jackie in the first episode.
Yeah,
where he was talking about feelings. He's kind of bending the rules of compassion to his will, which is the Anakin thing. As well.
Yeah. And he does that here, and it looks like he's been doing that for his entire time as a Jedi Knight or Master. We don't know really where he's at.
Right. And you can always he conveys like there's some layers there. It's like he's compassionate, but also so guilty about something.
Yeah, I mean, understandably, because we now sort of get the whole Jedi don't kill unarmed people things, and it's like, well, he straight up did. He straight up just murdered her.
Yes.
No,
should we get right into that?
Yeah, let's just dive straight in. I think because that was the moment that I was like, okay, this is his moment, because they all feel like, I think all 4 of them have some guilt-ridden conscious of something, like, but his almost feels, well, it's kind of the inciting incident, which is surprising. I would not have put it on him.
Also connected with Torben just really wanting to go back to Coruscant.
Just being real petulant.
really bad.
Like he's just whiny.
Is he a Skywalker?
Yeah, it felt like that. But he was super whiny, and then just sort of running off and like rushing to it to be like,
you hopped on that speeder bike, just like, I gotta go home. I wanna go get these witches.
Yeah, we're like, how long have they been there? How long have they been out in the field? It feels like he's just
like
never
they said, right? Like 7 weeks or something like that.
Not that bad. Like, chill out, Torben.
Yeah, it's like you have a nice big ship you can go hang out in.
But like, what's your life? Like, you can't love, you can't have relationships. So what else are you gonna do?
You have to wander around with a metal detector
that you're allowed to do.
There is there's one of the characters in one of the YA High Republic books, who is it Imri? It's one of the characters who is like a real bookworm Jedi, and when he's out in the field, he's just like, oh, I just really want to get back to the library, man. Like I hate it out here. I hate having to deal with stuff. Like I just want to go back into the books.
He doesn't have a data pad.
I mean, he does, but like he just likes books. He just gets nervous when he's outside, I think. He's a real indoor kid. But he overcomes it, and that's sort of his arc. But this guy, he just seems like he wants to get back there, and he's like, yeah. I don't know, maybe he's got a thing at Dex's Diner or something that he just really has a regular pick up.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, because we got to look inside Torben's head for the mind control bit that happened, and maybe that freaked him out. Now he just really wants to get back to Coruscant.
We messed with him like considerably, because as soon as it sort of started happening to Kelnaka as well, he was like, oh shit, we know what's coming. Like he's experienced it firsthand.
Yeah. And she was like, Anasea in his head was like, you want to go home?
Yeah, like real like I'll give you what you want. Like just real dark sidey kind of thing. Like that was the most sort of dark that it went.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to get a peek in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because after episode 3, we were all speculating, oh, the Sith is there. Oh, the Jedi are evil. Great. They're really leaning into George Lucas being like, hey, the Jedi are not great. Yeah. The witches are good. And then we're like, oh, the other mom with the horns is bad. Like we made all of these things of what this could be. But what we saw last night was, oh, every single person has good intentions and is kind of doing things that they feel is the best for everybody else.
Yeah. Even Anasea, like, even Mother Anasea, like she was, when she says to Sol, like, I was gonna let her go with you. Like, you fucked up. You fucked this up.
Yeah. Granted, she should have led with that.
Yeah. Like she probably needs to go to like marriage counseling, because her partner and the mother, like the way that they're raising the daughters, definitely not on the same page. But like she seemed like she was okay.
She seemed pretty chill.
I mean, other than mind controlling and
other than that part,
the creepiness there.
Yeah, she should lead with that next time instead of scary ghost, which like
what
it probably
like 7
seems valid to stab with a lightsaber.
but when 7 Jedi or however many enter a place with their lightsabers, you know what that means.
Yeah,
like as a regular average Joe, oh shit's going down. Like even when Anakin and Obi-Wan walk into the bar, the sports bar on Coruscant, it's like everybody's like, oh shit, something's up. 2 Jedi with lightsabers, and they're like, go Jedi about your business, Jedi business. And so it's like, here we have like, is it 7? There's a lot of them.
That's 4. It's just 4.
A nice little pile.
There's 4?
There's only 4 Jedi there.
Oh
yeah, that's right.
Inara, Kalnaka, and Torben.
That's twice as many that walk into the sports bar, and there's like half the witches that were people in the sports bar. Yeah. So it's like, oh, the Jedi found this place, and it's known that the Jedi are allowed to
go in and take kids
and do sweeps, and it's like it's really intrusive.
Yeah,
if they would have just said, "Can we sit down and discuss this?" all of this shit would have been okay.
Yeah, there are some options for your kids. Like, come in like an army recruiter or something like that. Like, hey, have you thought about signing up for the Jedi? Like, not coming in and be like, yeah, we're taking your kids. See you later. Bye. Like,
we kind of got
they're not tactful.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of got like the reverse perspective, which like I went and watched episode 3 again. And you see like the Jedi come off as real weird.
Yeah.
And forceful and stuff. And I did the same thing with the witches in this one. Witches come off as real sketchy and creepy. It's like, they just a bunch of intimidating force witches, and they have 2 twins that can use the force. This is really weird.
So there's a lot of interesting stuff with the twins and with the virgins being called out. Exactly, like that, and we know that Anakin was like an embodiment of a virgin in the force.
Yeah.
The cave on Dagobah is another one. Presumably the Acto like hole. All of these sort of places are. So I was like, okay, cool. So is is the tree, because when they first talk about the Virgins, it then sort of, that's when Soul finds the tree and it's all light and everything like that. Is that one? Is their well where they're doing their ceremony? Is that one? Is it a light and dark situation, which I quite like? Is that why the girls split? Why they were one thing and they split?
Yeah,
Well, Octo has the sort of the dark hole, and then the
I was
tree.
thinking about that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
We talked about that hole a lot last week because we were convinced that it was going to be there, but
where they do the ascension ceremony is that version. It's like a less natural. It's like an actual like man-made created.
I mean, my headcanon is that it is, it's that same thing. It's like they've built it up around it maybe, but like it's that great light, great darkness, and we just happen to have seen both of them on this planet.
Yeah. I feel like this is the most clearly like the Virgins in Star Wars just got like defined, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I kind of just assumed from like Phantom Menace what they were talking about, but they actually like put it in stone in this. I'm like, oh, okay,
this is cool. What that is, and you need a metal detector to find them.
Sometimes. Yeah, you need a metal detector to find them.
Which is kind of fun. I like the call out of the Great Hyperspace Disaster. That's how.
Oh yeah, the Light of the Jedi reference.
Light of the Jedi kicks
Even
off.
I knew what that was.
Yeah.
I was like,
I watched enough Alex,
yeah,
and Molly to know. Like, okay, yeah.
I was like,
that's nice. That's sort of tied
you can
in.
see
in the same
sort
way.
of by the tree, Saul hides behind something that looks like a ship part that's been sitting there for a while,
or like a ruin of whatever was there beforehand, or something like that. Yeah,
something that was created. There,
and do you think that the hole and the fortress of the witches, do you think like that was cracked because of something, a piece of debris that came in from hyperspace?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they said it was probably an old mining colony or something like that. So it was, I think, a structure that already exists, and then they've adapted it or put it back together or something. So I think that's already cool. Shiny Plastic People here mentions that the Jedi Temple itself was built on a ancient Sith temple. So there's always these divergences and these points of rebuilding on top of other things.
Yeah.
I love that.
Jedi trying to cover shit up.
I love that Anasea calls it Coruscant, like she doesn't pronounce it.
Oh yeah, I must have missed that.
And then
like Jake
Tarbin says it the right way. But no, that's what's great about like Leslie Headland is such a nerd. She knows that George Lucas said it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how you pronounce it. Like the universe, the galaxy is so big. Like nobody's gonna know the exact pronunciation of stuff.
I mean,
we all pronounce things. He's talking about the Gungas in Phantom Menace. Like he doesn't even know what they're called.
Yeah. Or just laser swords. It's that same sort of thing. It's like, but it's a big universe. People have different names for different things. That's the same reason that like when people complain about like that Twi'lek doesn't look like this Twi'lek, or why is that Gomorian guard real hench now as opposed to being a big chubby guy? I'm just like, because species can look different. Like, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, they should have something in more Star Wars episodes where a character sees like an alien and they're like, "What is that? I've never seen one of those before." They should be screaming more every time they see something new. Oh!
If they're on a new planet, at least, definitely. Like,
Oh! It's horrible!
They should do that like every time an alien character bumps into a human.
Yeah, just every single time. Whoa! Scary.
Damn, you're ugly. What else do we get with the twins being split from one? I feel like they are really like dancing around. Like they don't want to say dyad. They like it's a dyad. I think it's pretty much like as close to a dyad as we're gonna get ever again, but they don't want to say the words because they know that it conjures some horribleness from people online. So that's fine. Like we get it.
Yeah. They don't need to be explicit.
No. But I like that. I like that it's an interesting thing. I still think whether they outright say it or not, I could see the stuff with May and Osha and the ages and everything like that being what leads into the Phantom Menace, like the fear of the dark side and like raising and training younger, slightly older people, sort of thing. Like they're like, no, push that age limit down further because this is what happens when you train adolescents.
Yeah, they get really. It seems like every time they're bringing up the age thing, something always pops up. Something bad always seems to be brewing.
Yeah.
Though
Can't
Osha
trust
seemed to
teenagers.
have a good head on her shoulders until she got into Kimir's clutches. Who knows what'll happen there?
Yeah.
But she always seemed like she was fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe she didn't succeed at being a Jedi, but seems like just a normal person.
I'd like to know why. I'd like to know what it was. Was it really her own self-conscious, or was there someone poking and prodding? Or
yeah. And now we've got, like, we saw May lighting that fire from the other side of the door. Turns out it was just a big fire.
Yeah, oil burn, hot. It drop hot fire. Yeah,
they need some kind of sprinkler system in this giant facility
for sure.
living in, because she lit like a book on fire, and then that went. I was expecting like because in the third episode, it's a big. I was like, Jesus, what happened?
It seems to sort of expand a lot quicker. Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, oh my god, the whole place is exploding. Good lord, did somebody like
there was like a time jump
reactor or something? Because
maybe it was a Tabana gas mine.
Oh,
could be. Yeah, could be.
That's a good thought there.
Yeah,
very explosive.
It's like Quantum of Solace, that hotel made of gasoline that just explodes
it's like,
for no reason. Yeah.
They gotta have some kind of fail safe in the wiring system of this place, because good lord, she burnt down the whole place on accident.
Yeah.
So some of the things we get a bit of answers to is why all the witches are laying there dead. Are they dead?
I think they're dead
in their mental arm wrestling match. Like,
right?
How powerful is Carrie-Anne Moss?
I mean, she just sort of like popped their heads essentially, like from the inside to
I was trying to figure out exactly what happened there. Like, did their their connection getting cut off just kill them or something?
Well, that's it. Like, was it the fact that it's like there's the power of one, the power of two, the power of many? Like they're sort of going full many, but because maybe they were channeling it all into Kalnaka, and then as soon as she gets a hold of him, it's almost like pushing that power back into them, and then it just sort of just goes. Yeah.
That's
without without the main two mothers there, sort of to guide them. Maybe if they had like either of those guys there, they could have sustained it a bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah, because all the witches were in there, and it seemed like it was initiated by what's her name? Coral.
Yeah.
Coral. Whose body we
don't
see. She flew away as a spooky ghost.
We also don't know who caught May.
That's right. No. That's right.
So I have theories now that Coral might be the master.
I wouldn't be surprised. I had that thought after watching the episode as well. I'm like, well, she does disappear, and she does seem to have this. She definitely has the motivation.
She's like the only Zabrak amongst the lot of them as well. So if there is any connection to the Night Sisters, like the Dathomirian Night Sisters and things like that, then it could be through her.
Yeah,
because
she looks like a bad guy.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's if you're not Ethkoth, like, and you're a Zabrak, like, what are you doing? Like, you're obviously bad.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. Like they say they're witches, and Torben jumps like Dathomir and Night Sisters.
Yeah.
But I don't think like that's never confirmed that they are calling them. They are Night Sisters. It's just what he's heard of. Probably
just a connection he's drawing. It's like, oh, maybe they're Night Sisters, because I guess they know about Night Sisters.
I mean, in the same way, like everyone's making the connection that Chimera is a Sith, and even he's like, I don't really have a name, like, but you can call me Sith if you want. Yeah,
sure, I don't care.
Yeah,
like the Torben is like a dorky teen that knows all about Star Wars.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, obviously she is a Night Sister from Dathomir, and they're like, no, and they're just like, it's like Leslie Headland like squashing all the dorky theories.
But it's like all right, whatever. You sure you go believe that. Like it doesn't need explaining. So
Yeah, like I could draw that conclusion just watching the third episode. I'm like, they're witches, but this seems like a different thing. It feels like a different thing.
It's so much easier
but I
to
guarantee
just
you,
let people want to believe that they're the same if they want to, but if you want to do anything else, they don't have to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's Leslie Headland had the foresight to put in that line about the Night Sisters, and then knowing full well, like in episode 3, or episode 2, or whenever it was, everybody was talking about them.
Yeah,
I bet you she was just so excited that they were speculating that it was Night Sisters back then, so she knew that she was going to squash them like 4 episods later.
That's
their dreams.
There's been a couple of like little nods and things. So with Vern's thing last week about like she's not afraid of hyperspace travel, but it unsettles her. It's because in the books and stuff she's had visions and stuff when she's in
visions,
hyperspace.
Right?
Yeah. So there's little nods when it's fun and like not intrusive to the story.
Yeah. It's just like a little tiny thing about this character. Some people might know what it is. If not,
same as the hyperspace disaster this week. It's like it's not really relevant. It doesn't make like it's not integral to the story, but it's a nice way of tying it all together. Just to sort of say, we know that this stuff is happening, and we're in this era. So
yeah,
I like it.
Either way, there's going to be some YouTube video that's going to be like, "Why does Vernostra's tummy hurt?"
Yeah. Possessed Kelnaka. My note was possessed Kelly, and I was like, from Saved by the Bell. I was like, no, that's not the right one. Possessed Kelnaka, seeing a Wookiee go like full Wookiee rage with a lightsaber and stuff. That was cool. That was different.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not seeing that before. Like he's moving,
and because
it's like this is why you've got Junus in there, because he's great.
Yeah, and it was funny because when he slammed Torben into the wall, I'm like, oh, that's just like Solo when he slams that dude's head into the ground.
Awesome.
In Kessel, and I was like, oh yeah, because it's the same guy, but it makes it like this is a Wookiee fighting style. Is grabbing people,
like just grab him by the head and slam it.
Yeah, he was just kind of just swinging that lightsaber around, and it felt like very Wookiee.
I did watch Star Wars Explained this morning. It's my refresher for the episode before we talk about it. And Alex was mentioning that Kelnaka used his claws as a weapon, which apparently is like in Wookiee culture is bad.
Oh wow!
You can get sort of
I didn't know that
disowned. You can be like shunned because you use your claws as a weapon.
Yeah, because he grabs Torben by the face.
Hand or something. Yeah, he's the one that gives him the scar.
Yeah, and supposedly ruins his hairline.
You can't really see it, but he does a quick cut and then down, and then later as he like falls, his
so he has to grow
his beard
out as well.
That makes so much more. Did he take the hair and then put it on his chin?
Grafted it onto his chin,
and then just out of pity, they made him a Jedi Master in that short span of time.
What else have we got?
It was cool though, just the Kelnaka thing.
I really enjoyed it.
It was a credible threat. I think that's what they needed at that point, was a credible threat, and it was like the fact that it was coming from inside their own camp was interesting, because I feel like if with all the witches, other than the spooky witch shit, like they weren't fighting, even the ones who like
it was all defensive
bows and everything, and that's it. Like Torben single-handedly was defending against like all those.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
It was.
I don't think
really
I've seen bows and arrows in Star Wars. Maybe in the Clone Wars.
Night Sisters,
that's like the laser ones.
Yeah,
and that's as close as they get.
Just cheating.
I guess like Ewoks have them.
Oh, I guess so. But it was cool seeing like the Ewok that shoots doesn't it just like kind of flop down? I don't know.
Maybe it's just like twigs.
Thinking of Predator. I think I'm thinking of Predator, where he shoots the arrow and it just like kind of. It's not a very good bow.
There's the bows were cool, and even like Coral, she was trying to fight Soul, could not even. I mean, she was smacking him in the face plenty, but
I don't think they really had a hope. Like, I like that even back then, Soul was trying to avoid using his lightsaber as much as possible. Except for after stabbing, except for when he just full on stabbed her in the chest.
That was so fucked up. And she was like, "Dude, I was gonna let her go."
Yeah.
It's like, you looked really scary, lady. You had shark
you were
teeth and
doing a
stuff.
scary thing, and you were turning into smoke. And then
I
also,
wonder
I think, like, so my thought was he was doing it to try and protect May, because May started smoking
She
out
started
as well.
like
But, like,
dematerializing and stuff.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what's she
and
doing?
I feel like that's because May had already sort of started talking about they were going to be sacrificed, or like there was a sacrifice needed to be made.
Yeah.
So I think in Soul's mind, he's just going, "Oh shit, they're trying to kill one of the girls, or the girls."
Yeah, the implications of that are bad.
Yeah, like, so they were created to lead, but a sacrifice was needed. So it's like, what was the sacrifice? Was it one of them? Was it the rest of the coven? Was it someone?
Yeah.
Was it one of the mothers? Like,
It's like, would
it's
all the
murky, we don't know.
witches be and put in the girls or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Ooh.
And then it's up to them
Ooh,
to
like a
rebuild it.
Voltron.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Yes,
Voltron,
power-
like a witch Voltron, exactly.
Power of one, power of two, power of many. It's that. Is it a consolidation? Is it like a nesting doll thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A witch inside a witch inside a witch.
Yeah.
But yeah, she turned really scary. I do wonder what
Yeah.
she was gonna do.
Mm.
I don't know if there's enough time in the show to ever explain that, but we'll see.
There's always
Do we
there's
get
always
season
comics.
2?
I've
Yeah,
read
yeah.
Does
it,
anybody
but
know
yeah,
how
season
well the show's doing? I know people hate it, like, because of certain things, but do you
feel like-
think we get a season 2? Like, I feel like
They
I would want
seemed-
one.
They seemed happy when they were talking about numbers. In
Yeah,
some of
like
the
it's
interviews and
gotten a
stuff,
lot
like,
of viewers.
yeah,
which
yeah. Like, I mean, even if those
I feel
some
like
of those
that's
are
all you
hate
need.
watchers, then who cares? Like, they're still watching it.
Yeah, and
Um,
like audience like scores or whatever. It's like that doesn't mean anything
They
anymore.
really don't. They're
Yeah.
so whacked. And in that interview, I can't remember where it was. Was it on Collider that Leslie Hedner did last week? Someone they asked is like, so about these reviews, and they're like, we
Oh,
were
yeah,
expecting
yeah.
it. Don't worry about it. We're not. When no one at Disney is worried about that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
we know.
Like, I feel like
what we're
Disney
getting.
Plus Star Wars shows, they get people watching. They get people paying
They
for
drive
Disney
numbers.
Plus subscriptions. Yeah,
Yeah.
they drive subscriptions, and I think that's
Yeah.
going to keep the shows coming.
Definitely. And I feel like alternating between types of show is a smart way of doing it. So if you get this now, and then you get your sort of Stranger Things in Space show at the end of the year,
Right.
and then Andor after that, it's like we're getting a bit of everything. And so
Sorry.
by the
she
time
said
that this
Andor,
comes
I
back round, if it's in a year and a half,
melted a
2
little bit.
years, hopefully those people who have chilled out, they'll have watched it all together. Because I do think that I love a weekly rollout. We get to talk about the shows, but
Yeah.
the way we mentioned it last week, Ralph, it does feel like it would have probably played out as a really good 2-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Especially
and-
this show where I feel like a lot of it could be condensed into
Yeah,
longer
there's
things.
definitely some stuff. It's just sort of the act structure as well. It feels like it's playing out that way. So if people get a chance to watch it in that way, hopefully they'll be a bit more kind to it and they'll be happy for a second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch more. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Scott D in the comments bringing up a speeder bike thing that I also was thinking about. There's like one shot where Soul's riding by on a speeder bike, and I had to rewind it. I was like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
Because when it stops, it's just the speeder bike kind of freezing. His like cloak is still a little animated stuff, but it is just the animation stopping and freezing. And I was like, what the hell? What was that?
It was the first time for me that it sort of screamed that someone in the creative was like, I really like speeder bikes. Can we please have a speeder bike in the show? Because they could have just jogged off into the woods, and the next scene like is them jogging up to the castle, like up to the fortress. Like, but yeah, that's what we needed. We needed to see it. Like that's what we got. I thought Soul creeping up on the castle, like both times that they do it, it was super unsettling. Like I assumed that it was gonna be Chimera in the castle, like making that noise when you get the scene in episode 3 when they turn and they're like, "Oh, what was that?" But to know that it was Soul and he's just been sneaking around, like following these girls around, I'm like, dude, that's not a good look.
Dude.
That's not
his whole vibe in this episode.
Yeah,
like
knock on the door.
Yeah,
and
and
have
he's
a
talking
discussion.
To Inari's like,
yourself. Use your words.
that girl's gonna be my Padawan.
Yeah.
Like, wow, all right.
It's a bit predatorial.
Yeah.
But then later, like Torben gets his wild hair and heads back to the fortress, and Saul's like, "Oh, go this way. I know the way." It's like, you're weirdos.
Yeah. Stop climbing the walls of this place, guys.
Like, I know.
Chill.
I knew that we were going to find out about what the Jedi were all guilty about stuff. Inara kind of the only adult in the room. I guess Kelnaka too, but he was just kind of there.
Like, I feel like we all just assumed, well, I did anyway, like that Inara was going to be the main instigator, like the quote unquote bad one of this bunch, and the others sort of just fell in line. And until she kills a coven of witches, he was definitely the level-headed, like, voice of reason, the only adult in the room, sort of thing.
Yeah, like she's always been so severe in her scenes. Yeah, but then like you kind of see the scene when they're talking to May. She's like very like compassionate and kind towards May, like telling her like, "Oh, your marking is beautiful" and stuff like that.
She's nice because I feel like she's like, okay, we don't want her to go anywhere near these girls. Like, this is a bad situation. We need to get out of here and probably report it and everything like that. She's all for reporting at the beginning. Yeah. So I was like, wait. I need to just take that one girl from them. And then after she does her thing, that's when she's like, nope, this stays between us. No one can know about this stuff. So
yeah.
And I feel like it's almost like the unwritten thing is like, all right, you can train this girl and I won't fight you on it, but you can't say a damn word. And that's why he's the only one who's back at the temple doing that sort of thing. Like the others spread to the winds because they're like, oh, I can't be trusted to not tell your secret.
Yeah, Kilnaka's off writing weird witch language all over the place.
Is that stuff that's all imprinted in his head?
I would think
so.
Yeah. And in the same way, like Torben might have been doing that just in his own little Barish Fowl way. Like he's just, instead of scribbling on the walls, he's scribbling on his mind.
Yeah.
Using his hair.
Scribbling on his forehead.
So I needed extra.
Doing some hardcore thinking and just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing.
I can't stop rubbing.
There was a really good quote from, I think it was Anasea, which was, someday those noble Jedi intentions you have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy. And I'm like, yep, that sounds about right. That's gonna happen. Pretty on the nose there.
Some good witch foresight there.
Yeah. The other quote that I wrote down was, "Do not confuse what Osha wants with what you want." And I feel like that was Inara like completely summing Soul up.
Yeah,
we don't know if he's ever had a Padawan before this, but it sounded like she's sort of in a friendly way, like just poking at him, just be like, "Well, this is why I'm a teacher and you're not." Yeah, like
I feel like her saying that line is a very deliberate thing to show that this guy wants a Padawan real bad.
Yeah.
A little bit too much.
Is that because he fucked up with another Padawan?
He has a track record.
He saw maybe a friend of his get fucked up by their master with a whip and was like, "Oh shit!"
Ooh.
Like I've seen some speculation that he and Kaimir might have known each other, and that Kaimir's sort of got a bit of a fountain of youth thing going on. That they're actually about the same, because he does say it was a very long time ago. Kaimir's like does sound like when he was a Padawan or a youngling, at least, it was a lot longer ago.
Yeah, some of that Plagueis cheating death.
Yeah, I was wondering because, like Kabir says in a previous episode, like, "Oh, you don't remember me," and I wonder if, like, maybe he's referring to something farther back.
It felt deeper than just that time in the shop.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like I was like, I wouldn't remember some person I talked to at a 7-Eleven or something.
No. And it's so like I was expecting it because they sensed each other or he saw him maybe here in this flashback, but because he doesn't, I definitely think that they've got a previous, at least passing connection.
Yeah. And like also with like Kumir and stuff, he also another character that really wants a pupil. So, thematically,
they are flips of each other. Yeah.
It's like
and they both end up with the
other one.
Then by the next episode, we'll see them with their Padawans, but they're swapped.
Yeah. Which Soul has a little mix up in this one. he sees May and he's like, Osha.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
obsessed. Like there is a weird level of obsession there.
Oh my god.
Like he can't really tell them apart.
No, I mean even
Gross.
back then he couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah.
He just never looks at foreheads.
Nope.
Which works well with him and Torvald going forward.
So it's a little hot for a pedal. Gross.
Not good. Like we started this episode saying how much we really like Soul and how compassionate and nice he was, and it's come full circle. It's like
It's a good performance for
yeah.
seemingly
doing
deeply
great.
disturbed character.
I think that's a good way of putting it. He does seem deeply disturbed.
Yeah,
I'd like to
and I
know
love
why.
watching that. I love watching that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The mothers seemed ready to do a coup. Like on
Yeah.
Anasea.
Yeah.
When Anasea was like, I'm gonna let her go, they were like, fuck that, no, you're not.
Yeah.
They seemed ready to turn on her, which I thought was interesting. I wonder how that would have gone.
The way Coral sort of manipulates May makes it feel like she's teaching her how to lead.
Yeah.
Like she's doing that sort of thing. And you get a glimpse of how things could have gone if the witches were still alive. I think Coral's still alive. I feel like it's obvious.
Oh, it totally feels like
they made a point of showing everyone else except her, and with her smoking out of there, like it's she's like a slow night crawler.
Yeah, and she does just say
if Coral is the master, is Chimera using May / Osha to help kill her?
Oh.
Like that's how things go with the Sith.
That's the final test. Is like if you can,
yeah.
It's
And he's got Osha now. Maybe Osha would be willing to do it, but maybe not May. I don't know.
Yeah. I like it.
I guess
I like it.
I mean, I like the idea. One
It's
twin kills
definitely
the other one.
very Sithy.
Yeah, it's really hoping that there's time for that in the next episode. There has to be. There's
a lot.
Well, I mean, when we get back,
do.
we're going to be jumping right into Osha with the helmet on, and May,
and presumably, like
we should just be.
And this is like the end of that conversation. Soul has told May all of this that we've just watched. Like we're not going to have to.
Everyone's caught up,
and that's what happened when we did this. Yeah.
So anyway, May. That bridge was too damn heavy.
Yeah.
I thought
Dark.
I mean, they're up on that thing and they're just like, Osha May. It's like he could have just probably told her. Didn't know who was who. I keep mixing you guys up.
Yeah.
Those the bangs. I can't see past the bangs.
You can see why May was so vengeful. Like she was like, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers. And it really felt like she was wanted to do Soul last.
Yeah. I mean, she did see Soul stab her mother.
Yeah, stab her mother and then full on just choose to not save her.
So does May not know that? Or does Osha not know that?
She didn't seem to.
Assume she doesn't, because
has there been some sort of
is that going to be revealed? Is Chimera going to let her know that Saul killed her mom?
Maybe.
Is that what's going to push her to completely go to the dark side?
I mean,
this guy who you held on a pedestal, this Jedi master that kicked you out of the Jedi, he's killed your mom point blank with a lightsaber. She was unarmed.
Yeah, I feel like all other witch stuff aside, that's probably one of the biggest things that Soul is guilty about. It's that and dropping May.
Yeah, I think those are the two things that he feels the most guilty about. I think he personally feels most guilt about dropping May.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all right, he kicked it off, but I think at least in his mind, he killed Anasea, but he did think that he was doing it for the right reasons. I genuinely think he believed he was saving May at that point, where 5 minutes later he's like, oh shit, I can only save one of them, and your sister seems more chill than you. So yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that those are kind of like the main hitching points for his guilt.
Do you think there's been any sort of messing with Osha's mind? Any like mind wiping? Chimera mentions it in the shop when they first like approach him. He's like, whoa, whoa, don't mess with my mind. And when he has the helmet on, he's like, I'm not gonna let you get into my head.
Yeah, that is a good question. I feel like with Osha, like I feel like at the point that she's at, she doesn't like need anything to get her to that point. It seems like she is kind of she lost
was
her
ready to
family.
leave.
It was a huge tragedy. She bought into like May started a fire because she saw that happen. So she has all the pieces are in place for her to believe the lie. She doesn't need anything else. So now she's just ripe for the converting.
Yeah,
because she can have all this truth revealed to her.
Organized religion, always preying on the people who are most vulnerable.
Yeah, so cool.
Oh yeah. So this episode was called Choice. There was a lot of consequence. I sacrifice and consequence, I think, were like the words that came up more than anything else. And I feel like the next episode, it's gonna be a slash title. It's gonna be something slash something. And I feel like consequence should be one of those words because it is like it's everything coming to a head. I don't know what it would be exactly, but I at this stage, I don't know if anyone makes it out alive. I think Kaime is probably the safest of everyone. Weirdly, I think he's probably the most likely to survive.
Like he's got there's more story to tell there.
I think
sure
so.
With that character, and he's so intriguing. I hope that continues too. Like
I think him and one of maybe both the girls.
Yeah, I think both. Saul, I don't think Saul makes it.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Like from the beginning, I was like, "There's no way this character.
There's no way." Yeah,
he's the only one that knows about Chimera that's left.
It's true.
I mean, Vernestra knows that something happened there, but she doesn't know exactly what.
Yeah, and I do feel like Soul is just gonna go after Osha, like on his own, because he kind of has a track record for just not doing what the council wants and going and doing whatever he feels is right or whatever.
Yeah. I think I don't know how Vern's going to play into the finale here, but like everything else, it seems like, because I watched back the trailer for the season earlier on today, and it does look like there's a chase through like a ship chase through a bit of an asteroid field and stuff. So that's got to be, I'd say, Soul chasing May through something. Like she gets away, there's a chase, and then they probably crash wherever Chimera ends with, maybe on their island planet. Maybe it all just comes to a head there on the island planet. We get some more information about that.
Consequence.
That's good.
That's
like
a great title. That's a great title. Because May is the only person who would know where her master is. So maybe she's just a way to get Soul there.
Yeah. Like I assume that's the same planet that we saw her at in the end of the second episode, where like he's there with his lightsaber out, giving that cool speech.
He is hanging out on the beach.
So she knows where to go to get to him. So I think she's gonna maybe she means to lead Soul there. Maybe she's just trying to get to her sister. Maybe she's trying to get to her master. Maybe she's trying to get there to kill him. Like I don't know anyone's motivations, and I really enjoy that.
I feel like that does feel like the natural endpoint destination for the season. And then we'll come back to Kiara just like, go to his
yeah.
Nobody, never mind.
And Yoda's like, more I know. I'm gonna withhold more information. But I don't see like Chimera doesn't need to leave that planet. He's just like, I've got Osha here, we can keep training, we're in no rush.
Yeah, like, he's got his own little tide pools to swim in.
He's already converting her. Like it's working. Whatever he's doing, like just go for some more baths with her. Like it'll work. Like just keep doing what he's doing. So I feel like the fight has to come to him.
It does make sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I do wonder though, like if this ends, like we lose Soul, any connection to this like possible Sith like a resurgence erased when it goes into like later seasons. It's like that damn line by Ki-Adi Mundi about the Sith being extinct it's
It's just going to be an albatross. Yeah,
I know it's such an albatross. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
it's just like the Clone Wars being mentioned. It's like, shucks, now we got to do this whole Clone Wars thing.
I really do think they knew what they were doing, and having it be him who says that, because it's
having the Night Sisters line again. It's like, oh, they're gonna bring this up. It's the guy who said the thing in episode 1. He was there.
Yeah. And it just shows the hubris and like where the Jedi are at and why they were primed to fall when they did, because they were so believing that they were right and that everything that they knew was, this is the way it is. Just because we've not seen them means that they must not be out there, when really they've been operating under your noses the whole time.
Yeah. I do like with the Jedi and stuff, especially you kind of see that in this episode. It's like the Jedi, there are plenty of like fine Jedi, it seems. Like Inara seems like a
well-meaning
Jedi head on her shoulder. Yeah, well-meaning. A lot of well-meaning Jedi with really poor judgment.
Yes.
And like maybe they all need some therapy or something.
I mean,
some like coping skills.
It can't hurt. Like, maybe that's why Obi-Wan
seem to have. Like Yoda has a nice little session with Anakin.
Yeah. They need friends outside of the Order, I think. Like they need they need to like connect with the real world a little bit. Like I think all the Jedi that have outside friends are probably a little bit more in touch with what's going on in the galaxy. They're not so dogmatic. They can go by the rules and things like that, or they can bend them. That's Qui-Gon's whole thing. Is like, you're all out of touch with what is going on in the galaxy. Like, go out there. There's the recent book by John Jackson Miller, The Living Force, is literally Qui-Gon dares the Jedi Council to just go and do something. He's just like, gets there and he's like, I've just been out there sorting some bits and bobs out. You guys are so disconnected from what is going on. Go and do something. And he essentially like tasks all 12 of them with going out and helping a planet out. And they do. And I think they realize, oh shit, there is something to this. Like, we should probably be doing a little bit more. But at that point, it's too little too late. Like, Palpatine's already ready to go.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Scott D's comment. The Jedi just need to wear body cams. I mean, when Soul stabbed Anasea, I'm like, those are some cop reflexes right there.
Right? Yeah. It's first,
ask questions later. Oh God. I still love that character though.
He's great. I like he's really nice. But
I love a good messed up character.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's the same reason that we like, problematic favorites. Like,
it does seem just a lot more relevant now that like constantly in the early episodes, people are like, you are like, even as Padawan, like, why do you have a picture of your old Padawan?
Yeah,
it's like this guy gets too attached,
like way too attached. I really wonder if between Osha and Jackie, he had any other Padawans. It's been 16 years, so probably not. I can't imagine. I think he would have probably taken some time after Osha, because we don't know how long. It was 16 years between picking her up and then like the season, and then she's been gone, I think, for like half that at least.
Yeah. So it seems like just enough time to have Jackie as a Padawan.
Yeah, I think so.
That didn't turn out so good.
No. And as Kai said, it's like he bought her there. Like, he put her in that situation.
He got her hole punched.
Yeah. She's like, he seemed like he was doing a good job with her though. I feel like there was a level of disconnect. He still had
like a very capable Jedi.
Yeah. Capable, like had her head on her shoulders, was doing all the right things, and wasn't as connected and attached to her. But that's a good thing, I think, in that situation. So it's like he learned from his mistakes.
Yeah,
but
just brought her into a bad situation.
Yeah, those mistakes are still out there, unfortunately.
Yeah, came back to bite her specifically 3 times.
Where do you think it goes in this finale? Let's do some predictions.
I predict since May knows where the unknown planet is, take Saul there. Benestra tracks that ship, that Jedi ship, and we end up with like a good, the bad, the ugly standoff on that planet. where everybody's conflicted. Every single person is conflicted in that moment. And I think we're going to find out that Vernestra may have something to do with the scars on the back of Chimere. I mean, there's a lot of shit that has to...
being like led to believe that, I think. Like that.
There's so much story to wrap up that I feel like they all have to converge.
Yeah, it also just be condensed into this one place.
Yeah,
to kind of wrap everything up nicely and maybe lead into whatever else is coming. And I think that's a good way to have Vernestra be involved, because she keeps popping up and she's on the trail of what's going on here.
I still don't know why she's there. Other than like we haven't got that yet. We're like, she's there. She seems important. She seems connected to things, but we don't know why, other than just being that voice of what the Jedi are like at this time. They're getting more like leaning towards the political side of things.
I could see it
being shady. She's keeping things from the council.
Yeah, I could see the Sol and May going to this planet. There's some kind of confrontation between the four of them there. Vernestra might come in a little bit later. Like once things have progressed enough between these other characters, and maybe she'll either come in at the end and we'll find out why she's involved. Maybe there'll be some conflict there. Or she does another walking in to the aftermath and seeing it. I hope it's the former, because I think that'd be more fun.
And I just realized Patrick's favorite character from last week, her Padawan. It's not Yord.
Oh yeah.
Left the Yord Horde and joined the, what was it? What's that guy's name? I can't remember.
The Mog Squad.
Mog Squad. Yeah.
Is his name Mog?
Mog. Yeah.
His name was
Mog.
M-O-G.
Oh,
great.
All right. Yeah. I'm in the Mog Squad now.
If Mog makes it to that planet, I don't think Mog survives that planet.
Oh, geez. They gotta stop bringing their Padawans to these
really
dangerous places.
I mean, literally, like, Yord's Padawan's still out there somewhere. We saw her in the first episode and then never again, because he's like, being responsible, leave her at home. She doesn't need to come on this dangerous mission.
Yeah.
She's just chilling in the library.
We've got like 5 red shirt Jedi. You can stay.
Yeah. We don't need you to die. We need you for season 2.
Yeah. Those big ears.
She's going to be the vengeful one, trying to avenge Yord.
Oh no. Happens all over. It's just the same thing.
She's the Acolyte.
Character.
She's the real Acolyte.
I can picture the thumbnail of that on YouTube, just circle around that character. It's like the real Acolyte. It's like that's a fun theory, and I think we should establish that here.
Yeah.
Lord's Padawan, the true Acolyte.
It's the Acolyte we knew all along. I don't think I've got anything else for this episode or for the finale. I wrote down Free Soul O as when he was climbing up the thing, just because I've been enjoying.
Very good. Very good.
But that was it.
He's really good at climbing.
Yeah.
And sneaking around and being a weirdo.
Just being a creep. Just being an absolute creep.
He's gonna be my Padawan, I'm telling you.
Yeah. You've never even met the girl. Leave her alone.
Yeah, you creep. Go back to the ship.
You barely know her name. You only know her name because you heard her sister say it.
Yeah.
So weird. Scott D says he hopes it's not a 30-minute episode. I do too. I don't. I mean, I'm sure that they can do it, but I'm hoping for something sort of like 45 plus. It's got.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll be short.
I do too.
Because like this episode, when I saw it was a little longer, I was like, cool, but it ended up kind of being because a lot of retreading the exact same like shots. Sometimes,
there was a few same shots. We got some from like opposite angles and things.
Some new ones.
A lot of it was the same shot.
I noticed the credits stayed full screen the entire time, so we could hear the pop song.
Got the full.
Oh, right, the song.
Didn't go to a little suggestion.
I really like
which I like.
I like it. It still seems weird. It still seems out of the blue.
It's definitely weird. It's like a good song, but like I got up, I was in my kitchen and the song started playing. I was like, did something start auto playing? Is this like some other thing? And I'm like, oh, it's still Star Wars credits.
Weird.
All right.
Had you heard it before this, Jacob? Had you heard it after episode 3?
Oh, I don't think I stuck around after.
They released it.
No. Yeah, they released it on iTunes like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had not actually listened to the song
Ralph
before
set
this.
it up because they released, and I just thought it was going to be like the soundtrack or like a bit of the soundtrack, but
Right.
no,
right.
it's just a pop song. It was like,
Pop song.
oh, okay, cool.
It just
I'm
like
like,
caught me
alright.
by surprise because I've never experienced that after
No,
a Star Wars
it's like
thing.
so weird.
Usually
since
it's like
Jedi Rock.
da, 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 da. And it scares me, but this time I was like, oh
Yeah, it
this is
reminds
a
me of the
nice-
show
nice-
Willow.
a nice song.
A lot of this reminds me of Willow, the series.
That also have pop songs.
Dude, like episode 2 has a cover of Enter Sandman that plays over the final
Whoa.
scene of an episode. It's
Cool.
fucking nuts, dude. You should
I
check
wish
it
I-
out, but you can't.
You can't.
They
Yeah,
took
it's
it
gone.
off Disney Plus. It's gone.
Oh, that sucks.
So you'll just have
Oh.
to take my word for it that there was fucking straight up pop songs. Was it Good Vibrations, the Beach Boys?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
There was a pop cover of Good Vibrations in one of the episodes. I'm not shitting you. Willow was fucking
my
bonkers.
So they,
God.
so they didn't try and do it like in universe. They just did like just covers.
It just covers, and it was being played like as not diegetic music.
No,
It wasn't.
okay. Oh, weird.
Oh, okay. What's
It was like, oh, here we're in an episode, and there's a witch, and all of a sudden you start hearing, and I'm like,
That's
this show's-
crazy.
I mean, Brian
This
Wilson
show's
might be a
nuts.
witch.
that's bold. That's bold.
it might. Oh, a ghost just entered. A witch just entered. Brian
Whoa,
Wilson
look
entered your house.
Brian Wilson.
Oh no, Coral's in there.
Oh,
I hope that the finale ends with like a cover of BYOB or something. Then I think that'd be that'd
System
be
of a Down
sick.
song. That'd be amazing.
That'd be so sick if that happened. I'd be like, bravo, Andor, get out of the way. Best Star Wars show. They did it.
Why do they always send the poor?
Now we've got our
All right.
expectations for the finale.
That's it. Yep. System of a Down, or we all quit.
Oh my God.
Jacob, thank you for joining us. As always, it's
Yeah.
a pleasure. We will hopefully see you back here for what, Skeleton Crew.
Right, that's next, right? Skeleton
That is
Crew,
next.
and then
This year.
Andor after that.
Yeah.
Seems that way, yeah. We don't know yet exactly, but yeah. Skeleton Crew is
And then
definitely next.
I
I'm
don't know.
intrigued by Skeleton Crew. I like.
Yeah,
Jude
there was some
Law a lot.
Lego. There was some Lego leaks this week.
I saw
noticed.
that. I saw that. Like
Yeah.
a ship with a bunch of
Yeah.
little kids and Jude Law. I could see that Lego hair anywhere. And I'm like, that looks
The
like Jude
duster.
Law. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
that duster.
But yeah, I look forward to talking about more Star Wars when it comes down the road.
Yeah.
Great.
Until then, you can
And-
find Jacob. What's the schedule for Astro Goblin, Jacob?
Okay, we got a lot going on YouTube, which you could it's easy to find. Just look Astro Goblin on YouTube, one word. We got videos on Monday and Wednesday, Monday and Friday. I don't know why I said Wednesday. I said Wednesday because we also have a Patreon, where we have uncut versions of the Monday and Friday videos that come out same day, and then Wednesday we have a comment show. And then Thursday we have a podcast, and that's all on the Patreon. We have a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll talk about Star Wars more on there too, because we brought it up in podcasts and stuff. But like, I don't know what for, but I have the rights to Star Boys if I ever want to
Amazing.
continue that.
Absolutely. You got to do it.
Just need
It's-
room.
Star Boys Special Edition.
Yes,
That'd
the
be great.
sequels.
Yeah.
They're here. But Astro Goblin. That's where I'm doing stuff.
Cool. And you can find me and Ralph back here next week as usual for the last episode. Ralph, we've got guests next week, I believe, right?
Yes, we have Johnny and Kayla from Geek the F Out. Johnny was in here earlier. I saw him poking around. This is Johnny.
Hey,
Lucha Johnny.
there's
So
Johnny.
they'll be here next week for the finale.
Yep.
Thank you for everybody joining us in the chat who was cool. To anybody who came in and did trash can emojis and got banned by me, take it up with me. I don't like. Here's the thing: this show, we try to be positive. You know, there's room for critique, and
you don't have to like
absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely.
But-
and listen, we're adults talking about a kid's show.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fucking kid show.
Yeah.
This is specifically a YA show.
Yeah.
Andor feels like an adult show, which is why I like that we're getting Andor and Skeleton Crew, which sounds also like a sort of a YA show. And this, like, there's stuff for everybody. And if you don't like the kid stuff, don't act like a kid.
Mhm.
Like, just it's Star Wars. There was lightsabers. We saw a fucking a Wookiee with a lightsaber, and it was fucking scary and awesome and amazing. It was great.
And if you don't like any of the shows, there's a video game that looks fun out in like 3 weeks' time. Like, you can get your Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's pretty soon.
That's really soon. Yeah.
Wait, is Outlaws is in 3 weeks?
Something like that. It's
it's August
end of
30th,
August.
I think.
Okay, so a little bit longer. But
So
do I need to go
pretty
get a
coming around real
PS5?
quick. Yeah.
Oh,
So I need to go get a PS5.
Yeah, do it.
I have my Darth Vader PS4 and I love it. I'm not gonna get rid of my Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid
It's
of
got
it.
the
It's
little
like Star
thumb
Wars.
pad has
No,
Star
no
Wars.
one's telling you
logos
not
all
to get
over
rid of it.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. Cool.
When Andor
Disney
season 2
hasn't
comes
given me-
around, I'll be on every episode of live action Star Wars.
Booked.
Yes, because I told Ralph this, but like I need an outlet to talk about Andor because I keep ranting at my fiance about it. She loves the show too, but like I keep bringing it up, like, oh, this thing I love about Andor, and I'm sure that's gonna happen again.
It is the show that I've watched the most. Like we were saying this last week, I haven't really rewatched many of the Disney Plus shows, but Andor I've done it 3 times, I think, total. Like, I will do it again before the next season.
Yeah, I have no joke. I've watched Andor 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't get old, it just gets better. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I've only watched it.
Don't get me started.
Once.
All right. We'll save Andor chat for next year, when Jacob will just be a regular.
Great, that's fine. I can deal with it.
Yeah. But until then, until next week, everybody, don't give in to hate.
Celebrate the love.
Punch
I don't know. We didn't
Oh, do I say something?
You can say
we usually prep you. We forgot.
We forgot.
A virgins, you say? There's my contribution.